Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the 8th annual Tawheed conference here in Roosevelt, New York. We're going to bring up our third and final speaker, who will be Hamza Abdul Malik. Ms. Malik is a student of comparative religion and the Quran, and a Muslim apologist and a da'i. And also he specializes in Christology. His presentation today will be on shirk, partnering with Allah. Malik?
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, let me thank everyone for coming out, and all of the brothers. This is our annual Tawheed conference, and this is, as you were told, the 8th year that we've been doing this. We started off, the first year is just a fellowship group. We went down to visit our good brother Zafullah and his family and his friends in that area in Virginia. Was it Virginia at the time? Maryland. Yeah, and we went down to visit him, to Brotherhood, to have a Brotherhood gathering with him and his family. And we had such a wonderful time at that gathering. We decided that we would do it annually, and we would name it or title it a Tawheed conference, since that's basically what we talked about is God. We didn't go down here talking about strip clubs and all that kind of stuff. We were talking about God, and so we said, well, let's name it the Tawheed conference, because we're talking about God and only God. And so this is the outcome. This is 7 years going strong, and we thank Allah that we were able to maintain that, and we hope that in the future we can continue, and we can continue to grow in that thing. So my talk today will be, and it's going to follow up on these brothers who preceded me, so I hope I can kind of measure up to their presentations, at least give a decent showing. And a lot of it will be tied in, because mostly what the brothers talked about was things surrounding belief in God from whatever angle that they presented their papers. And so since mine is the same, we don't have a different God, and the route to God is pretty much the same, so I might touch on a lot of the same kind of things that the brothers talked on during my presentation, so pardon me if I just go over some of the same kind of things. My topic is entitled Shirk, or partnering with Allah. So that's the cover sheet. I have something else inside. But before I do that, let me just read a verse of the Quran to introduce this. That verse is from Quran chapter 57, verse 3. Quran chapter 57, verse 3 says, speaking about Allah, He is the first and the last, and the manifest and the hidden. And He is the knower of all things. He is the first without beginning, the last without end, the manifest and the hidden. And He is the knower of all things. So with that, I can actually fold up and sit down. I don't have to go any further in talking about shirk, because shirk would just be the contrast of that, would just be the opposite of that. That Allah is not the first, and He's not the last, and He's not the manifest, and He's not the hidden, and as a result, He's not eternal, and as a result, He's not self-sufficient. So, I mean, you can just glean that from there, and just get an idea that, well, shirk would be to add something or distract something from that unique aspect of God. So, but we'll, since I did all the time to prepare these notes, I might as well go ahead and utilize the benefit of that. So now, the Quranic definition of shirk. I like to always define terms before I get too far into a presentation. So the Quranic definition of shirk simply is to share The word shirk literally means to share, to participate, or collaborate. To have God share with somebody else. You know, like I said, with brother, you know, the brother said, wow, that's a lot of stuff you got there. I said, oh, no problem, I got more than I need. You need some? I said, yeah, man, I wish I could. You sure? I said, yeah, well, take some of mine, you know. And so now what I've done, I've decreased mine, and I've increased his, and now in order for me to be whole again, I have to depend on him. I have to be whole like I was before. I'd have to say, brother, please give me back that. I come to find out I did need it. My wife said, why'd you give him the stuff we needed? I said, I didn't know we needed it. I thought we had enough. No, call him back. So I called him back and said, brother, you know, sorry. You know, you just call it Indian giver. You know, you take it back. No disrespect to our Indian brothers. But I'd have to say, brother, can you, he said, man, I spent it already. I said, oh boy, now I'm deficient forever now. So once you have God sharing, he becomes forever deficient. You see, he's deficient. Not good. To participate, you know, God says, well, you know, I have all this stuff. Do you mind? You got any free time? I said, yeah. So well, look, come and you can help me do it. You know, it's going to take me about a week, and if you come, we can get this thing done in about 2 days. You know, with your help, maybe 2-3 days is the best. So now you participate in God helping him do stuff. Maybe God is getting ready to create the heavens and the earth, and somehow or another, some other eternal, co-eternal being says, well, look, you know, how much are you going to create? You want to create how far you want to go into the universe with yours, and then I can take part of mine and continue on there, or whatever. So share, participate, collaborate with God. You know, I think you should make the earth a little closer to the sun. He said, no, well, if you make too close, it's going to, yeah. So they argue, and then first thing you know, they done fell out. So you don't get nothing done. So Allah says if there was 2 gods, one way to know it is that you'd have chaos. If there was 2 gods, it wouldn't be harmony, it'd be chaos. Everyone arguing about their own stuff. So all these things point, when we look at the universe and our creation and ourselves, it points to a unity of a intellectual being, who we call God or Allah. So we want to make it clear that he doesn't partner with anyone, he doesn't share with anyone, and that he is by himself. Now, things are better known by their contrast. You see, if you want to know something, what this thing is, contrast it with the other thing. You see, if you want to know what up is, get to know what down is. You see, just the opposite of whatever. Now, if you like, for the people who talk about the word hadith, just use hadith for an example. Well, Allah says in the Quran, chapter 29, 39, verse 23, that Allah has revealed what is called the best hadith, the Aqsanul Hadith. You see, and he calls it a book that is consistent with Mutashabi. So that book is consistent, and therein lies the guidance from Allah in that book called Aqsanul Hadith. But Allah goes on himself to contrast his hadith, which is Aqsanul, which is complete and consistent, and is used for mankind's guidance, with the hadith from people, others. And that's in chapter 31, verse 6, where Allah speaks about mankind. There are those who promote what is called lahwal hadith, or frivolous, useless kind of hadith. And what do they want to do with that hadith that they themselves promote in contrast to Allah's hadith, is to mislead from the way of Allah. They want to mislead from the way of Allah. So that's a contrast. So the best way to know is to contrast something, and Allah does it himself. He contrasts his hadith from the hadith that the people know. The hadith of Bukhari and the Muslim and all these people, these names, which we'll get into that because I know people will take offense to the broader audience who perhaps might see this lecture later on. They're going to say, astaghfirullah, something like that, the Muslims. Brother, what are you talking about? Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim and all that. We know those hadith are Sahih in their sound, and hadith Qudsi, one thing after the other. I'm saying from what I will present today, that all of those hadith are lahwal hadith. They're useless and worthless hadith based on the Quran. It's not going to be me saying it. By the way, cameraman, did you get a close-up on this shirt? And because people might look and they say, well, what is that, all the stuff on his shirt there? And
One
his
thing
hat.
that
Yeah, so this is, so this is just giving you a point, so those people who might turn away right now and don't want to listen to the lecture, just look at those verses there. Look at these verses here, and then you can go, you don't have to listen to this lecture right now. See?
Put your head down.
Same thing, good. Head down. I'm getting coaching from my director. Put the head down.
All right.
Anyway, good enough.
What a granny at?
Things are better known by their contrast. Okay, let's look at Quran chapter 40, verse 12. The Quran chapter 40, verse 12. And I'll just quote the text. When you go back and read it, you can read it in context. But reading it in context, and I'm quoting the text, will not change the sense of the text that I'm quoting. The sense of the text will stand with or without context, just the text itself. And Allah says there, that is because when Allah alone, Allah wahdahu, Allah makes sure that He says, He adds onto His name, Allah, the word wahdahu. That means that whenever you mention Allah's name, whenever someone mentions Allah's name, it's automatically to be understood that it's Allah alone. You see? Whenever you mention Allah, it's Allah alone. You don't have any gray area like with the Jewish people who use the word Elohim. Elohim, they know the term Allah means the God, but the M is plural. So they say, well, it's the plural of majesty, it's not the plural number. However, it still leaves something to be desired in terms of Islam. Islam will not accept that kind of thing. It could be misconstrued as something else. So whenever you see Allah, it's Allah wahdahu, Allah alone. So Allah says, whenever Allah alone is mentioned or was called upon, what? You disbelieved. Whenever Allah by Himself, and you don't say Allah and, which we heard that talked about earlier, Allah and meaning a second independent entity that you want to bring in. You see, I have my notes and this Quran. You see, so these are two different things. This is and this here. Now, if I say I have my notes and the ayats, and the ayats are right here in my notes, then it's all one and the same thing. I have my notes and the ayats here. The ayats are what I've written down. See, I have my photo and the notes, the Quran. So whenever Allah alone was mentioned, you didn't like that. You disbelieved. But when others are mentioned with Him, what others? Allah didn't specify. He just said others. That means you could take it from Allah to right on into infinity. Whatever others you want, whatever others you name, whether it be a prophet, a messenger, an angel, a devil, a jinn, your uncle, aunt, whoever you like, Allah leaves it open to infinity. Whenever you say Allah and someone else, whatever your persuasion is in life, whatever your religious belief, whatever your associates are, you're happy. For example, if you ask me, Brother Hamza, I come to the masjid and say, oh, that's the Brother Hamza there. That's the brother who, give the lectures. Brother, assalamu alaikum, brother. You just in time for the salah. Can you call the adhan for me? And I said, well, let me call the adhan. I said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Hayya as-salah. I said, astaghfirullah, brother. You didn't say, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I said, well, I don't really see no need to say, Allah says when He alone is mentioned. Oh, I get it. You're not happy. You're not happy because I didn't say, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. You're not happy. Oh, I get it. You're not happy. This is the verse, I see this verse in action now. You're not happy. When Allah alone was called upon, you disbelieved. But when associates was given to Him, you believed. You believed. Whenever you gave some partner with Allah, you're happy now. So I said, call it over again. Ashhadu Muhammadan Subhanallah. You're happy now. So Allah says, judgment belongs to Allah, the high, and as the brother presented before, Al-Kabir. Allah is Al-Kabir. He has no attribute in the Quran called Allahu Akbar. There's nothing in the Quran called Allahu Akbar. Nothing in the Quran called Allahu Akbar. Allah is Al-Kabir. But again, you have a problem with that too. So, you don't like it when Allah alone is mentioned. Again, in chapter 3, verse 63. 3 verse 63, the messenger there was told to call all the people who are called Untitled Chapter, people who have a book of divine revelation from God. We should be on the same page. You know, you call yourself a Christian, you call yourself a Jew, you call yourself a whatever, yet you have a revelation from God, and in that revelation from God, the oneness of Allah is the first thing on the agenda. Every messenger uttered the oneness of Allah. La ilaha illallah. So you have that. How do you get straight away? So I tell you what, look, let's have a summit. Let's have a G20. And we all come together and under this premise, what? That we serve none but Allah. O people of the book, come to an equitable word between us and between you. Between us and between you, that what? That we. Let's take that now and make us together. Us, you, let's make it we. That we. Let's get on the same platform. That we, what? Shall save none but Allah. That's Allah alone. And that we should not associate aught with him. What? Shay'an. Anything. Nothing with him. And that some of us shall not take from among ourselves, what? Arbabs. Lords. Arbabs. From the word rab. We're not going to make little demi-rabs, little demi-lords, besides Allah. Now, that's the platform that we want to start working from. That's the platform that we're going to call Tawheed. Now, if you turn back and if you reject that because of your investments that you already have, because you don't like when Allah alone is called upon, then bear witness that we're Muslims. That's it. Nothing else to talk about. Case closed. In terms of God and matters related to life and death and this salvation, as we call it, there's nothing else to talk about. We're not going to skip over that and start talking about other little things that we do, or brother, we can come together and fast and have iftar. Yeah, and you break yours in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, and in the name of so and so, and mashallah, shake hands. No, we're not doing that. If you can't come together as people of the book, and we agree on your premise that you have, here is the Lord our God is one, Jesus here is the Lord our God is one, Allah bears witness that he is one. If we can't get together on that platform and begin to reach out from there, then bear witness that we are Muslims, there's nothing else to talk about. But, excuse me, according to chapter 42 verse 13, verse 13, Allah says, in that verse, hard on the mushrikeen is that to which you invite them. Brother Hamza, look, you know, that's what you just said, this, all that introduction you just did, that's all well and good. It should be logical and reasonable. But for the mushrikeen, whoever they are, that's hard on them. I said, wow, I wonder who they are. They're the people who don't like Allah alone. They're the people who are not happy with Allah alone. You just got to talking about it. It's hard on the mushrikeen. They're mushriks. They need to share. They need to partner. They need to have collaboration. They need to have Allah share and partner with something, with someone, with something. They're not happy. So hard on the mushrikeen is that to which you invite them. Wow, that's some serious stuff there. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, well, bear with us that we're Muslims. Now, according to Christendom meaning the broad spectrum of the Christian body in the world, whatever denomination, persuasion that they are, according to them, we'll start there, the curse of Adam and the redemption of mankind. And Adam and Eve, according to them, chose to live outside the will of Allah. According to them, Adam and Eve chose to live outside the will of Allah. In Genesis 3:17, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, of that which I commanded thee not to eat, saying, don't eat of this tree. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of your life. Because you chose to disobey me, and you went and did whatever you did, and so you knew the penalty and all that. So now you're cursed, and the ground and the earth and all that business is cursed for you all the days of your life. That's the Adam and Eve story, how it jumped off in biblical records, according to the Christian Bible. Now take that versus the Quranic concept of that same event in the Quran. In the Quran, chapter 20, verse 115 and 122. Quran chapter 20, verse 115 and 122. Now the question is, did Adam and his wife choose to live outside Allah's will? Based on the Quran, did Adam and his wife choose to live outside of the Quran? We say no. They didn't choose that. According to Christendom, they chose that. According to Islam, they did not choose that. And chapter 20, verse 115, and certainly we gave a commandment to Adam before, but he what? Forgot. But he forgot, and we found in him no resolve to disobey. He forgot, but we found in him no resolve to disobey. He didn't intend to say, I don't care nothing about that. I want to eat this tree. What is it? This God I think he is told me I can eat on, I'm out here. You're not out here. Where you at, you got plenty of stuff. I just got this tree and all this stuff around here, and you tell me you don't eat it. I want to eat some of it. Whatever it is what it is. No, he didn't do that. He forgot, and he found the law didn't find no resolve in him to disobey. And verse 122 says, then his Lord chose him, so he turned to him and what? Guided him. Guided him. Hada. He guided him. Hada. Because he's Al-Hadi. You see, he's Al-Hadi. So he chose him and guided him. Guided him. Now, so we see that story, how that jumped. We'll leave it there. Mankind is created for one purpose only. I think one of the brothers, maybe Shafiq or Jake, touched on that earlier. Chapter 51, verse 56. Mankind has been created for one purpose only. And I have not created the jinn and the men except that they should serve for me. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created the jinn or the men except that they serve for me, serve for my purpose alone. Now, that's what you're created for. Now, Allah says about most people though, He created them and He knows them, so He says something about most people, most. 12:106. 12:106, and most of them believe not, or they don't trust in Allah without associating others with Him. Most people don't trust Allah, believe in Allah, most people don't, without associating people with Him. That's most people. Most people. He's eternal, He's beginning, He's the eternal, He's the know of all things, He's absolute. Yet, He was by Himself, and now all of a sudden, you're not happy with Him being by Himself. He says, look, every time I see He's always by Himself, He do that. He don't never need no help, He ain't ask nobody for nothing. Who do you think He is? You see? He think He's all that. You see? Let's add something to Him. Let's mess with Him. So let's associate stuff. Let's say He's got a son. Let's say He's got a daughter. Let's say so and so about Him, that He incarnated, that He's not what it is. Let's make up stuff. You're not happy. Most people. Now regarding the messenger who brought this Quran, chapter 13, verse 36, he was commanded to say, I am commanded only this I'm commanded, in the mouth, only this, to serve Allah and not associate anything with Him. To Him I do invite you, and to Him is my return. I'm commanded to serve Allah and don't associate anything with Him. I'm inviting you to Him alone, and to Him is my return. That's what the messengers say. So those people who would like to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, as they call it, they Ahl Sunnah, well, Jamaat, whatever, they should be doing the same thing. They should be following this here. Unless they got a dictate in the Quran that says, do this and follow the Sunnah of the Prophet. Clear words, because the law speaks clear words and he doesn't run out of his words. You see? He doesn't run out of his words, which we'll show that later on. So they should be doing this also. They should be. They shouldn't be inviting us to the Quran and some secular source. They should be doing this. Say, I'm commanded only to serve Allah and not associate anything with Him. Not myself, not anything else. And to Him I invite you, not to me. And to Him is my return. I'm not inviting you to me. See? Chapter 6, verse 162 and 165 to 165. Here again, the messenger continues on with his testimony. With his testimony concerning the oneness of Allah and his purpose regarding that oneness. Say, tell them, as for me, let's get this straight. As for me, I don't know about you, you might have something in your mind, I can't read your mind. But as for me, you can't read my mind either, but I'm going to tell you mine. As for me, Allah says, tell them, as for me, Allah has what? Guided me. Past tense, guided me. I don't have to say, Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim, guide me. Because He's guided me already. If I keep asking for it, it's like, well, He's guided me, but I don't know if that's the right way. I don't know. Excuse me, Allah. Can you show me that again? Can you point me that way again? Well, how many times I got to do it? 17 times a day. I'll point at you. What is it? Every day. And then I'm looking and say, well, excuse me, Rasul. I thought you said just now Allah had guided you. And just a minute ago I heard you say, it's in a Siratal Mustaqim. I mean, what's going on here? Either you guided or you're not. Either you, what is it now? Either you guided or you're not trying to pull a fast one on us, are you? He says, no, look, I don't know what you're in your mind, but here's, I'm going to make it clear to you. Say, as for me, my Lord has guided me to the right path, a right deen, the millet of Abraham, the Hanifan, and he was not of the Mushrikeen. He was not of the Mushrikeen. I've been guided to the right path, the right deen, the millet of Abraham, the Hanifan one, and he was not of the Mushrikeen. There's 4 different qualities and attributes there. When you go through, you look them up and all of that. This is a testimony from the messenger. I could break them down individually, but time will not allow for that right now. Goes on to say, 63, say, my salati, my sacrifice, my life and my death are surely for Allah, Lord of the worlds. No associate has He. No associate has He. And this I am commanded. I'm commanded to make sure I understand that. And I'm the first of those who submit. I'm the first of those to submit. Not the first in history, but the first in my community, in my Jamaat, in my those who I have responsibility for, from me on out with this Quran. I'm the first one under the guidelines of this revelation of the Quran. I'm the first one to accept it and submit to it. And I have been guided to the Siratal Mustaqim. Goes on to say, 165, say, shall I seek a Lord other than Allah, while He is the Lord of all things? Should I seek a Lord, a Rab, a one who directs my affairs, who enlightens me with the right and the wrong, other than Allah, when He is the Lord of all things? Shall I do that? Well, if I shouldn't do it, you shouldn't be doing it either. You shouldn't be seeking other than Allah. Seeking Allah and, well, brother, you got to seek the Prophet too, because he's the one who explained. He said, no, I'm following this also. I'm not seeking other. Why you going doing something else? I don't got nothing to do with that. I didn't tell you to do that. This is what I'm telling you to do. Where'd you get that from? So Imam so-and-so, Brother Mufti, the ancestors, then, everybody been doing that. So everybody been doing that. Oh, that's where you got that from. Well, it's not me. I got nothing to do with it. That's you, not me. If you with me, then this is what you're doing. So let's talk about Muhammad's Imam. Just off a lot. Look at this brother. He's talking about Muhammad's Imam. Muhammad's Imam. Imagine that. Muhammad's got an Imam. Let's see what he's going to say now. Look, brother, look, hold it. Look. Let's see what he's going to say now. Are y'all listening? Good. Chapter 2, verse 124. Chapter 2, verse 124. And when his Lord tried Abraham with certain commands, he fulfilled them. He said, surely I will make thee an imam for all people, a leader for all people. Imaman. I'll make you a leader for all people. That was before Muhammad, and Muhammad is people, so he's included. Unless you've got Muhammad being something other than what the brother spoke earlier, that he was Bashar. He was a mortal. He was Rajulun. He was a man. He was a human being. He was insane. Unless you got him being something else, then this is for him too. Now, so Abraham is Muhammad's Imam. And when his Lord tried Abraham with certain commands, he fulfilled them. He said, surely I will make you a Imam for all people. Now, the nation of Islam. Wait a minute. Well, I'm saying the nation of Islam. The nation of Abraham. The nation of Abraham. Which, by the way, is the nation of Islam. But it's the nation of Abraham. You see? Chapter 16, verse 120, verses 120 to 123. Surely Abraham was a model, a nation. He was an ummatan. Abraham was a nation of obedience to Allah, upright, and he was not of the mushrikeen. Grateful for his Lord, verse 121, grateful for his Lord's favors. He chose him and guided him illa siratal mustaqim. Allah chose him and guided him illa siratal mustaqim. Guided him that way. 122. And we gave him good in this world and in the hereafter. We gave him good in this world and in the hereafter. And he is surely among the righteous, the Salihin. He is surely among the righteous. Look at that. Allah gave him good in this world and in the hereafter, and he is no doubt about it among the Salihin. And then 123, look at this. Then we reveal to you, Muhammad, we reveal to you. Follow the millet of Abraham, the Hanifa, and he was not of the Mushrikeen. That's what you do now. You follow the millet of Ibrahim. Follow the millet of Ibrahim. And we know that anybody, as long as they are following, cannot lead. You can't lead and follow at the same time. Either you following or you leading. You see, I said, brother, coming, well, where you on? I said, I don't know how to get there. Well, follow me. Follow me. So I'm going, you turn. Imagine you jumping out, leading, and then I'm going to start following you. I said, what happened? Brother, I don't know where you're going, but I'm going. He don't know where he's going. I said, man, what's that? You don't know where he's going. Well, we ain't got time for that. We're going to follow him. You see, maybe he got caught in the traffic, he didn't see us, and the rain fell. Where y'all at? So, brother, we saw you turn off. Well, I made the wrong turn. So, you following, you can't be a leader at the same time. So, Allah says, we reveal to you, follow the millet of Abraham, the Hanifa, and he was not of the Mushrikeen. So, don't you be of the Mushrikeen. Don't you be somebody who wants other than Allah alone and his revelation alone, which you make mockery and say, Quraniun. Oh, these brothers are Quraniun. Quranis. Quranis, what is that? What do you mean by that? Brother, because you just accept the Quran. You don't accept the hadith and the sunnah of whoever. Well, Muhammad, according to this, is not accepting it either. And we're going to establish that as we go further, and then we're going to identify you. We're going to identify you via this Quran as a mushrik. As a Muslim. That's what you're going to be identified as from this Quran, not from me. It's not from me. From the Quran. I know you don't like that, but it is what it is. And I don't have no problem upholding this Quran. And if this Quran tells me to uphold and something else, I'll be glad to do that too. I did it for 40-something years, ignorantly. So now, I'm not going to do it now, unless I have some clear-cut evidence, which I don't see it. So that's the story. Now, shirk. Sometimes the good that we do doesn't do us any good. Sometimes the good that we do doesn't do us any good. 689. And brother spoke about that earlier. I said we'd probably be covering some of the same tracks because we're on the same road. So it was a while. I said the brother was here. Look, this is so yeah, well, we're on the right path. I think the brother was here. We were on the right tracks. His tracks were here. He went to this 689. If they had Allah talks about 18 different prophets in these verses, starting around 6 verse 84, somewhere up there. And Allah says this is the argument that we gave to Abraham. And Allah begins to name prophet after prophet after prophet, some 18 of them, and their descendants, their fathers and their descendants. And then Allah ends up down here at 689 saying, if all those prophets, Abraham, Noah, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and whoever, if they had what? Associated others with Allah, what? Surely all what they did would be what? Worthless. All that they used to do, if they had associated partners with Allah and someone else, instead of Allah wahdahu by himself, all that they did would have been worthless. And so we know Abraham for sure wasn't one of them, because Allah said we gave him the good of this life and the next life, and he was of the Salihin, so he definitely didn't do it. And we know none of the other ones did it either. Who's doing it? You who say Allah and a second source, because the Quran doesn't give the details, even though it says it does. Your sheikhs and your imams and your scholars have told you it doesn't, and you refuse to think and use your intellect, which Allah says he's going to ask you about it one by one as you came into the world. Well, excuse me, Allah shaking. Can I call the brother imam here? He's over there. Brother, excuse me, imam. I said, no. There's nobody. It's just you. Didn't I give you hearing, sight, and intellect? Yeah. Well, it's you now. It's you. You were told about this. You heard about this. You heard people talking about that, and you made mockery. You called them Quraniyun. You made mockery of the people who upheld this Quran, including Muhammad himself, as Quraniyun, following your ignorant leaders. That's what you did. So now you're getting what you deserve. You're getting what you deserve. You're getting it now, but it'll be manifest to you clearly when you stand before Allah. You're getting it now. You're getting it right from this lecture. It's hurting you. This lecture's hurting you. You don't want none of this. It's hurting you. But it is what it is. Good brother Jake presented the unpardonable, unforgivable sin, which in Christendom is called blasphemy. Blasphemy. I'll just go over that real quick, not to labor on it too long. It's an introduction into my Shirk argument, and it will be part of it. Matthew chapter 12, verses 31 to 32. And what is blasphemy in a nutshell is impious utterance or actions concerning God or sacred things. To speak about God or speak against God in a sacrilegious way. You see, that's called blasphemy. So in Matthew 12, 31, 32, it says, wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men, but the blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto men. Verse 32, and whosoever, I don't care who, whosoever shall speak a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whosoever shall speak a word against the Holy Ghost, it shall not be forgiven him, neither in this world, nor in the life to come. You can't even get that off you in this world. At least brother said, with our stuff, if we get it off us before we die, we're forgiven. This one, you can't even get it off you. Once you do it, it's on you. You won't be forgiven in this life or in the next. That's some serious stuff. That blasphemy business them Christians got going on is serious. You don't want that on you. You better be glad the Lord took that on you like that. Now, you can't get that off you. You see? Wow, that's some serious stuff. I'm not going to get into my understanding of blasphemy and what the Holy Ghost is. I've looked at it, but it's not the segment for this now. And it doesn't concern us. We don't have that heavy a penalty. It says, look, but here's our shade of it in the Quran, blasphemy. The definition, blasphemy. It says 6:109, and abuse not those whom Allah call on besides the law, lest exceeding the limits they abuse the law in their ignorance. So don't speak and abuse those things that they call on besides the law, lest in ignorance they start abusing, talking about Allah. That's blaspheming there in that sense. And in chapter 9, verse 12, and if they break their oath, and you can read that context there, there's been an oath made against the idolaters and one thing after the other, and they put on a 4-month truce and all of that. But the Lord goes on to tell you down in chapter verse 9, on chapter 12, verse 9, and if they break their oath after their agreement and revile your deen, surely their oaths are nothing, so they may so that they might desist. So they revile your deen. That's blasphemy. You see, it's blasphemy. The speaking against. Shirk is more akin to partnership, sharing. You see, collaboration. This is speaking against. The Christians don't care nothing about shirk, associating nothing with them. They look. These three are one. Father, God, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, these three are one. The Jews are to be God's many and Lord's many, and Paul and others. They don't care nothing about that. Everybody can have their little God stuff. You see? They're not that heavy on shirk, even though they have the Tawheed verse in the Bible, but when you read through, they get a little loose. But it's not our concern right now. All men are created equal, but not their sins. All men are created equal, but not their sins. Their sins are not equal. They are, but their sins, their deeds are not equal. They themselves are. Chapter 4, verse 31. Chapter 4, verse 31. If you shun the great things which are forbidden to you, we shall do away with your evil, they got in parentheses, inclinations, and cause you to enter an honorable place of entering. If you shun the great things which you are forbidden, we'll do away with your evil inclinations. We'll pass over them. Allah says if he was to punish man for the wrong that he did, he wouldn't leave nobody. Everybody's got some wrong. If he punishes you just because you got some wrong, everybody's going to have to pay the price. So if you got that major stuff, you get rid of that. The little minor stuff that you fall victim to, Allah can do away with that. He shows you his mercy. He said if it was his will, if he superimposed his will on you and didn't give you free will, he would have, with his will, guided you all. His will would have been to guide you all. But he gave you the guidance and left it up to you to choose. Use your will. You can choose to accept the guidance or reject it. But if it was up to him, if he was the predestined for you, it would have been for you to be guided. Like everything else is guided. Everything else is guided except you, isn't it? Everything else except you, and it has no will. They've been permanently in a state of guidance. Allah says he's the one who created everything, then guides. He gave you a free choice. All men created equal, but not their sins. Partnering with Allah, which is my cover page. Chapter 4, verse 48. Jake mentioned that for sure in his presentation. You see, he walked down here before, so we're on the right way. He walked down here and said, wow, Jake has been through me, look. Yeah, I know that's the shoes that he was wearing. I know that shoe. The O.J. Simpson shoe. We know that shoe. Well, okay, they don't even wrong. Maybe also. Might come looking for me. 448. Surely Allah forgives not that a partner should be set up with him, and he forgives all besides that to whom he please. And whoever sets up a partner with Allah, he devises a great sin. Ithman adhiman. Ithman adhiman. A great sin. You set up a partner with Allah, whoever does that, a partner with Allah, because he's by himself. Now you want to connect something with him that says, well, you know, Allah does this, and this person does that. Allah gives you the basic fundamentals, and this person gives you the details. So wow, you know, wow, Allah created all this heaven and earth by himself and everything that exists. He didn't need nobody to help him. Everything is detailed. Allah says, if you look at the sight to come back, you don't see no inconsistency, nothing out of detail. And now all of a sudden, he needs somebody to help him with details for this ritual that you stand up and do every day, that you half the time you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're saying. Like Allah said, don't come to Salah with your mind before until you know what you say. So some of y'all come and you don't know what you're doing, yet Allah couldn't even give you details for that. So you had somebody else come to give you details. So, whoever sets up a partner with Allah, he devises a great sin. Simple as that. Chapter 4, verse 116. Surely Allah forgives not setting up partners with him, and he forgives besides that to whomever he pleases. And whoever sets up a partner with Allah, indeed he goes far away. Dalal ba'idan. He's dalal ba'idan. He's so dalal that you can't even see him no more. He said, wow, he's lost. He said, no, I can see him. He's about 4 cars back. I can see his headlights. And slow down a little bit. He'll catch up. He says, no, I can't even see him. He's gone. He's lost. You know, the ship, the tide took him out. I see him. Look, hurry, hurry, hurry. He's out there. And now he's not out in the horizon. Somewhere he's gone. He's the Lal Mubin, the Lal Ba'id. He's gone. He's that stray over. That setting up a partner with Allah, you are off the chain. You don't even register anymore. Your Dalal is don't even register. Like Jake said, when you come, you ain't even got nothing to put on your scale. Allah got the scale, said, okay, brother, let me see how much stuff you got to put on the scale. So wow, where's all my stuff? Excuse me, what somebody was, where's my stuff? I ain't got nothing to put on the scale. He says, brother, because you could do it, you are mushrikeen. No, Allah, we were not of the mushrikeen. Chapter 20, verse 23, chapter 6, verse 23. By Allah, we were not of the mushrikeen. Allah said, look how he's lying right here. In front of my face, you standing here lying. I'm accusing you of being a mushrik. You say, oh Lord, we were not of the mushrikeen. Until I throw your behind in the fire. You say, oh Lord, okay, we confess. Well, I thought we can get away and fool you. And so you wasn't? Okay, well, go. No, I'm sorry, man. We got to let me see your record. I don't know. Well, put him in there anyway. No, put us behind in hell. Now you confess. Send us back. Oh, Lord, send us back. We'll do good in that which we neglected before. Well, Allah sends you back every night. You sleep and you wake up and you go back to doing the same thing. Allah says if He send you back, you'll do the same thing again. Allah says if He send you back, you'll do the same thing again. And He lets you sleep every night. Sleep is a twin brother to death. It could be death could have a twin. It will be sleep. He let you sleep and you was doing some filth yesterday and you woke up and said, wow, I wonder if it's still there. Well, what you doing today? You're right back doing the same thing. So Allah says, if He send you back, you do the same thing. He said, wow, how could that be? I haven't seen hell and all that. If He sent me back, you mean to tell me I would go and do the same thing? That's what Allah said, you would do the same thing if He sent you back. He forgives not that a partner should be set up with Him. And the Quran chapter 47, verses 33 to 34. Verse 33, O you believe. Obey Allah and obey the messenger and make not your deeds vain. O you believe, obey Allah and obey the messenger and don't make your deeds vain. 34. Surely those who disbelieve and hinder men from Allah's way and die disbelievers, Allah will not forgive them. So, it's not just literally setting up partners with Allah that's unforgivable. There's another one. You hindering people from the way of Allah. With what? Your main weapon. Lahwal hadith. Your lahwal hadith. All of them. Starting with Qudsi right on through to the daif ones that you got, which is all daif, but you sorted them out. So, brother, look, daif, put that. What do they know? What do they know? They weren't there. They don't. Look, make this one sahih, make this one daif, make this one mubah, make this one that. You know, and what the brothers know, they got their mishwak, and they sitting around stroking their beard, and they got them all painted and everything. And they just do it. I'm not making mockery. I'm just saying I used to do that same stuff without thinking. I'm just blindly following what, like cattle. We're like cattle, even worse. We're just sitting around like cattle, moo, moo. And the guy run up and hit you upside the head with something. You moo. He ain't got to hunt you. You know, let's go hunting for cattle. What are you talking about hunting? Nobody hunt cattle. You mean you tell me cattle got all this wool and milk and they can work and skin, you know, all the benefit, and you don't have to hunt them? No. Wow, that's great. That's a gift. That's a favor from Allah. A ni'mah. What? The an'am. You don't have to hunt them. So you're like cattle. Nobody even got to hunt you for your ignorance. They just call you and you sit down and just spoon feed you. They don't have to hunt you for that. Your brain is just ready to go. Chapter 31, verse 6. Allah talks about surely those who disbelieve, we just read it, and 47:34. Surely those who disbelieve and hinder men from Allah's way and die disbelievers, Allah will not forgive them. So how are they hindering from Allah's way? I said, wow, how could they possibly be doing that? How could somebody call themselves a Muslim, reading the Quran, yet at the same time be a hinderer of men from Allah's way? Well, 31:6 says, and of men is he who takes instead of the Aqsanal Hadith, he takes instead what? Lahwal Hadith. Frivolous Hadith, this gibberish. Running around talking, you know, so-and-so said, that so-and-so said, that so-and-so said, that he said he saw the messengers do something. Said, wow, that was like 200 years after the time of the Prophet. 200 years. Said, and I'm gonna put that over the Quran. I'm gonna give that precedence to the Quran. So no, you take those hadith, those frivolous hadith, to lead astray from Allah's path without knowledge. You're doing it without knowledge. You ain't got no knowledge about that. You're doing it without knowledge, and to make a mockery. You're making a mockery of this Quran. Mockery, and people, if you just Google a guy like David Woods, just to name one of the most vocal ones, he's beating you to death with this mockery that you're making. He's throwing back your mockery in your face and beating you to death with it. You see, when Ahmed Deedat was out there in his prime, starting off, beating people with this Quran, they were scared to death. But when they found out that you got this weak, secular source, second source that you depend on called Hadith, and they looked at it and said, what? This is what the Muslim trust and believe, and this is part of their religion? Oh, wow. Let's give me bags. Just bring it back the truck up. Bags, just they got bags of stuff. And David Woods, Google him, he's beating you to death with this, with your Lahwal Hadith, that you're making a mockery of this Quran with. He's doing it right now on the channel. It's not me, he's doing it. He's not going to come to me. David Woods is not going to come to me because he knows I'm not into that mess. You know, Brother Hamza, we can't deal with him this stuff. He's with this Quran. It's a big feat to try to overcome this Quran. Now you want to mess with that, you go ahead on. But that hadith, we'll wear that out every day. That's lawful hadith. We don't care nothing about that. And we'll throw that in their face and make them eat it for dinner. For those people, Allah says, for such is an abasing chastisement that's coming to you people with the lawful hadith. You don't have this asal hadith, which is the Quran by itself, then you are of the lawful hadith people. Lawful hadith. That's who you are. Chapter 4. I know you don't like this. I'm talking to the audience out there, in the broad audience. You don't like this. But that's what it is. I'm quoting you this verse, you go look at them. There they are right there. And you don't like it, but it is what it is. You will wish, Allah says that in chapter 67 verse 10, you will say when you stand before Allah, have we but listened or pondered? Two simple things. We wouldn't go to the hellfire, not because we weren't billionaires, we had money and had big doctorate degrees and all that. No, some simple thing that we could have did would prevent us from this fire. What? Listen or pondered. Had we but listened or pondered, we would not be of the inmates of the fire. Simple as that. Such a simple thing to do, but you're not doing it. 47, 8 to 9. And those who disbelieve, He will destroy their works. That is because they hate that which Allah reveals. So He has rendered their deeds fruitless. So here's another category. Those who disbelieve, He will destroy their works. Why? Because they hate that which Allah revealed. They hate that. Quran alone. They don't like that. Brother, you can't. Quran alone, brother was saying the other days that if he walked up on the Quran somewhere, he was out in the desert somewhere, and he walked up and there was a bag there, and he opened and said, there's a Quran in here. He said if he read that, could he have his moral attitude certified? Could he be receiving some guidance from Allah by reading that Quran alone? If he practiced the things that were basic, fundamental, mukam verses of the Quran, would he be acceptable to Allah? And you want to say, no, you need the hadith. This Quran by itself is not sufficient. The month of Ramadan was that in which the Quran was set down. You want to say, well, no, it wasn't just the Quran, it was the Quran and the hadith. You said that. A guidance to mankind, clear proofs of the guidance and whatever. You're saying, no, brother, it has an attachment. You see, that was set down, and then later on the guy rang the bell, said, excuse me, we have another package for you. It's an attachment to the Quran. The attachment to the Quran. You know, I answered the door the other day, and man, I jumped up and ran to the door, and the guy had a package, boom. As soon as I got back in the room, boom, boom. He said, what? He said, I had another one. So I didn't take that. So the month of Ramadan came, and here's the Quran, and you fasted and said, wait a minute, we have an attachment. So what should we do? Should we fast on extra time? No, just incorporate everything. Don't worry about it. We incorporate the attachment, and we incorporate the fasting. Just make it all one. Don't worry about it. That's the way you're thinking. That's the way you're thinking. That is because they hate that which Allah has revealed, so He has rendered their deeds fruitless, null and void. Quran chapter 49, we're talking about shirk. You see, we've talked about Tawheed. Now we're talking about shirk. And we're going to identify who are the mushrikeens, who are the practitioners of the shirk. We're going to ask Allah, He's going to tell us. You're going to be surprised. Stay tuned. Don't go. Don't go. If you want, pause the video, go to the bathroom, do whatever you got to do, get a snack, and you come back. Pause this video. Because you want to know who are the mushrikeens. You'll be surprised. You're going to want to know, but after you know, you ain't going to be happy. 49, 1 to 5. And I say here, 1 See, chapter 22, verse 52, and read it. It says, we never sent a messenger or a prophet. We never sent a messenger or a prophet. And this is another point that our good brethren, especially our brothers who are innocent, who don't really study, who trust on the scholars. They think the scholars, brother, you don't know Arabic, and you don't this, you know, the scholars. You see, so they think that when Allah talks about Nabi in the Quran and Rasul in the Quran, it's one and the same. Here Allah says we never sent a Nabi or a Rasul. Is that the one and the same? What is Allah saying? It's two different entities, two different individuals. And we can go through that, but now it's not, we don't have the time for it. We'll talk about it maybe another time. Quran chapter 49, verses 1 to 5. O you believe, be not forward in the presence of Allah's messenger, and keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is hearing known. O you believe, raise not your voices above the prophet's voice, nor speak loudly to him as you speak loudly to one another, lest your deeds become null while you perceive not. You see, that's the people right there on the spot. They'll be running off your mouth talking loud like you be talking to Abu Bakr. Yo, and then Abu Hurairah and Zayd and all y'all sitting around and hollering. So what they doing? Oh, that's them. They talking all loud and all that. So well, look, when you come to the prophet, don't be talking like that. Don't raise your voice over his. You can keep it on the same level, but don't go over. See, lest your deeds become null and void. Verse 3. Surely those who lower their voices before Allah's messenger are they whose hearts Allah has proved for dutifulness. For them is forgiveness and a great reward. Now this is some very sensitive looking stuff here, because you interchange it between prophet and messenger. Prophet and messenger, what is the difference here? Why can you talk loud but not louder than the prophet, but the messenger keep your voice low? So, you understand what this is. Those who call out to thee from behind the private apartments, most of them have no sense. They're like stupid. Allah's like, they're stupid. Oh my, Ya Rasul, oh my, Ya Nabi. So who's that out there? Who's that Abu Bakr guy? After Zayd, one of them guys. Say, don't be loud like that. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Most of them have no sense. Those people who are doing that, whoever they were, they're calling out to you. Verse 5, 49:5. And if they had patience till thou come out to them, it would have been better for them, and Allah is forgiving and merciful. Just in brief, I'll just say this, because I don't want to take too much time, because this requires a lot of time. I'll just say in brief. If you read chapter 7, verse 204, 7:204 says, when the message is being recited by the messenger, listen to it and remain quiet, so that mercy can be shown to you. When the Quran is being recited by the messenger, you don't do no talking. Recited meaning reciting, not rehearsing. Not rehearsing. Qara'a, reciting. When he's reciting, you listen. When he's rehearsing, you join in. But when the prophet, you with the prophet, and y'all just chilling out and you're having dinner with him or something like that, and he's talking, Allah first of all told you don't lay around after you eat like we just did, waiting for some hadith. You don't sit around waiting for hadith. Well, we ate, boy, that was nice curry. This way he's going to tell us some hadith. Get out of here. Ain't nobody telling you no hadith.
Yeah.
Don't sit around waiting for no hadith. What are you talking about? Don't sit around waiting for no hadith. No, get out of here. It says, look, when the prophet is talking, you can talk and converse with him on the same level. Don't be boisterous and talking down to him and all that. But when the messenger is talking, you lower your voice as much as you can, unless you have some emergency, you gotta be quiet, put it that way. I'll leave it there for now. But during our sessions when we are talking, we can go into this further. I don't want to go further into this at this moment here. Now, 7:153. And those who do evil deeds and then repent, like Jake had pointed out in his discourse, after that, and believe thy Lord, and thy Lord after that is surely forgiven, merciful. The people who do tawbah. Now, here's our big one. Who are the mushrikeen? According to the Quran, who are the mushrikeen? We're not going to ask somebody outside for their opinion. Well, I think they're this, and I think they're that. Who do you think? I think this also. You see, like Abraham asked his father, "What is your opinion about God?" Because you're idol worshiper. You ain't got no revelation, so I can't ask you your understanding about God from your revelation. You ain't got none of that. You're a polytheist. You're an idol worshiper. So you have a brain, right? So what is your opinion about God? You see, what's your opinion about God? Does he eat? Let me ask them. Do you eat? What is the matter with you? You don't speak? So here, who are the mushrikeen? We're not going to ask our opinion. We're going to let Allah tell us who they are. Chapter 6, verse 107. Who are the people who do shirk? Who are the mushrikeen? Since you like to be talking about the Quranic, who, as far as I'm concerned, the people of Tawheed, the Muwahideen, the people of Tawheed. There's no such term in the Quran. But who are the mushrikeen? That's it. Let's look. 6107. Allah commands the prophet, the messenger here, follow that which is what? Uhiya ilayka. Revealed to you. What? From your Lord. Follow what is revealed to you from your Lord. Follow what is revealed to you from your Lord. So that word uhiya, if I look and I say, wow, I wonder what that is. I look in chapter 6, verse 19, and the messenger says, this Quran has been uhiya to me, has been revealed to me, that be he with it, singular by itself, I may warn you and whomever it reaches. So we know that that's the Quran. The people say, look, bring us a Quran other than this will change. He says, I won't change it of my own accord. I can't do that. I follow only what is uhiya to me from my Lord, revealed to me from my Lord. So that's the Quran. So Allah says, follow that which is revealed to you from your Lord. That's the Quran only. That's the Quran alone. Quraniun. So that makes him a Quranist. Then Allah goes on to say, there is no God but He. Well, we know that in chapter 3, verse 17. Allah bears witness that there is no God but He. Allah tells the messenger, know that there's no God but He. There is no God but He. So that's the 2 points there. The Quran and Allah. After you got those 2 points in place, follow what is revealed to you from your Lord. That's the Quran. Know that there's no God but He. That's the Tawheed. Turn away from the mushriks. Turn away from the mushriks. That's it. I said, wow, now I get it. It's very clear. It was right there all the time. Now I know who the mushriks are. The mushriks are the people who are not following divine revelation alone, and the people who are not acknowledging the absolute oneness of Allah, wahdahu alone. They are the mushriks. You're not following the Quran alone, and you're not acknowledging Allah alone. You're saying the Quran and Sunnah and Allah and His Rasul as a separate entity. Separate and distinct entities. You're adding, partnering with both. You are the mushrikeen. That's what it is right there. That's what it is right there. That's who you are. You're not following the divine revelation alone, which is the Quran, and you're not acknowledging the absolute oneness of Allah. When Allah alone is mentioned, you're not happy. But when others are with Him, you're happy. Any others. You are the mushrikeen. Simple as that. So, if you call me a Quraniun or Quranist, I'll take that. I don't want nothing to do with the mushrikeen. Because Muhammad was Quran alone. Quranist. I'm a Muslim, but I follow the Quran alone. As Muhammad did. He was a Muslim, he followed the Quran alone. He followed the revelation alone. He followed the book alone. Seen from another angle. Let's look at it from another angle. Shirk. Shirk is neither more nor less than forgery. Shirk is neither more nor less than forgery. For example, forging a lie against Allah. those who forge lies against the law. That's what shirk is. Whatever you put with the law, you forged it. Whatever you associate with the law, that's a forgery. You forged it. Now I take the bill to the thing, I give the man $100. First thing the person gonna do when I give them $100, they're not gonna be happy. Oh wow, $100. They're gonna take it and do all kind of stuff with it. You know, they want to see if this is a forgery. You see, did I forge this? You see, but your stuff, you ain't looking to see if it's a forgery. Allah says in chapter 12, verse 111, this Quran is not a hadith that could be forged. So I'm asking you, excuse me, brother, you have Sahih Bukhari hadith, you wasn't there. Those hadith came some 150 to 200 years compiled after the time of Muhammad. I'm saying this, ask me, brother, answer me, could that hadith you're quoting as Sahih, could it be forged? What are you going to say? No? Then you make it equal to the Quran, because the Quran is not a hadith that could be forged. If you say that hadith could not have been forged even though you weren't there, you don't know. It came 150, 200 years after the time of Muhammad, he's gone, and hundreds of years from you now, 15, 1600 years removed from you now, and yet I'm asking you, could it be forged? And you're going to say, no, but it's Sahih. Sahih hadith can't be forged. Sahih. What? Sahih. You don't even know what the word Sahih means in regards to hadith. You don't know what the word means. But I'm asking, you said no. Well, it's equal to the Quran. You made it equal to the Quran. Partnering. You partner the hadith, lafal hadith, with the asnal hadith. You partner them together. You like that. What boldness they show for the fire. Chapter 10, verse 68 to 70. You see, I know these boys out there now, y'all out there in this audience, in the YouTube world out there, y'all are getting heated right now. You're heated and you're warm, but still you want to stay for more. You want to stay for more. You don't want to leave now. You want to stay for more. You see, this is hurting you, but you want to stay for more. And something is in you saying, wow, it's starting to make sense. I don't know. Maybe I better start questioning something. Especially you guys who ain't got no skin in the game. Meaning you ain't getting paid by the Saudi government to give your kutbahs and teach your Wahhabi madhabs and all that. You're not getting paid on their salary so that you sell out your soul like Allah says in the Quran, chapter 51, 56, somewhere in the 80s. And that is this the hadith that you reject and make it a means of your income? You reject this hadith, this Quran, and you make your rejection a means of you getting paid. You see? I could have been one of y'all. You see, I could have been one of y'all getting paid. But now, I have a little more self-dignity and self-worth and fear and awe of Allah, so I don't need the money. I don't need the money, I don't need the fortune, I don't need the fame. I need to do just what I'm doing now, stand behind this Quran and promote it. And then wait to stand before my Lord and hope that I can receive His mercy. That you like to pay it, whatever, somebody ushering you around, calling you brother imam and brother this and shake that, and Dr. So-and-so. Dr. Seuss. Shirk is neither more nor less than forgery, or forging a lie against the law. Chapter 10, verse 68 to 70. Chapter 10, verse 68 to 70. 68. They say, Allah has taken to Himself a son. Has taken to Himself a son. Glory be to He. He is self-sufficient. His is whatsoever is in the heavens and whatsoever in the earth. You have no authority for this. Say you against Allah what you have no knowledge, what you know not. Verse 69, say, those who forge a lie against Allah will not succeed. 70, a little enjoyment, like what you have right now, a little enjoyment in this world, then to us is their return, then we shall make them taste a severe chastisement because they disbelieve. Because they disbelieve. Those who say Allah has been taking a son, taking Himself a son, taking Himself a helper, deficient in His in his attributes of perfection. So that's the same as taking on a son, taking on a companion, a partnership. Those who forge a lie against Allah will not succeed. They'll have a little enjoyment for a while. You live in lodge and people, brother imams, mashallah, brother scholars, brother studied at, excuse me, our next speaker is brother so-and-so, he studied at university so-and-so, and he's got doctorate in this and blah, 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 and he comes up there and runs off a lot of stuff and mesmerizes you. And what he's talking about is some sheer nonsense. Sheer nonsense that won't stand scrutiny. This is why people like David Woods is having you for dinner. Like he said, he gets in your head and he sets up shop. Cut on the lights and all that, and you watch flat screen TV and cable, you got all the channels, everything in your head. Let's see what the law says about most people. Chapter 12, verse 106, most people. Maybe you're included in the most. I hope that I'm not. But maybe you are. Have you thought about it? Maybe you are of most people. And if you are, then look what's happening with you. 12:106. Most of them believe not in Allah without associating with Him. Most people believe not in Allah without associating partners with Him. Most people don't. Most people are mushriks. And chapter 12, verse 103, it says, most men believe not, though thou, you, Muhammad, desire it equally. You trying to convince them, show them, but they don't. You just grieve yourself to death running after them, trying to get them to adhere to this Quran, which they have abandoned. Most of them don't. Allah equals Allah alone. Allah equals Allah alone. You have to understand that. Every time you say Allah, whether it's wahda with it in the Quranic script or not, it's Allah alone. Quran chapter 3 verse 17. If Allah bears witness that there is no God but He, there is no God but He, the mighty, the wise. Quran chapter 7 verse 70. They said, hast thou come to us that we may serve Allah wahdahu? You come to, wait a minute brother, wait a minute, hold it. Brother Hamza, look, we asked you to come here and give a talk, and now look what you're doing. Have you come here, have you come here to get us to serve Allah wahdahu? Because I heard you quote that verse that says, when Allah wahdahu is called on, you disbelieve. What are you trying to say? This verse here, say, chapter 7, verse 70. They said, hast thou come here that we may serve Allah wahdahu and give up that which our fathers serve? You want us to give a look, brother, all these people have been doing this and saying that. You the only one who's saying this. You the only one. Look at all the people who's saying this. Look at all the people. The sheikhs, the scholars, you the only one who's saying this. You want us to give up what our fathers was doing and serve Allah alone? That's what you want us to do? Give up the hadith and sunnah and all that stuff? Quran chapter 17, verse 45 and 46. And when thou recitest the Quran, we place between thee and those who believe not in the hereafter a hidden barrier. When you recite the Quran alone, and those who don't trust this Quran alone and think they need hadith and sunnah and all that stuff. And so, brother, you understand how we're going to make this a law? I heard you say that the Quran says it's fully explained, detailed, and clear, nothing left out, everything is included that we need for our guidance to get us from here to paradise, to please Allah. We know that's what you said, but how are we going to make our salah? Where's the details for that? Now, see if you can answer that. What are you asking me for? It's Allah you're asking. Allah told the messenger it's not you to give the lie to, it's Allah's messengers. They're not you. Don't you get all upset. Oh wow, why are you so upset? They don't listen. Allah said, it ain't you. Don't you put yourself involved. You're not involved. Your job is to make the message reach them. Don't get upset. It's Allah that they give the lie to. His messages. They're giving them and they're calling Allah a lie. Not you. Don't you get upset. You just do what you're doing. We put coverings on their hearts and a deafness in their ears, lest they understand it. And when thou makest mention of thy Lord in the Quran alone, they turn their backs in aversion. I don't like that. Quran 39:45-6. Quran 39:45-6. And when Allah wahdahu, Allah alone is mentioned, the hearts of those who believe not in the hereafter shrink. And when those besides him are mentioned, lo, they are joyful. Who besides Allah? Anybody. Just mention anybody, whoever you like. Who you like? Well, mention him. Who you like? Well, mention him. Who you like? Well, look, I don't care. Look, let me make it easy. I don't care who you like besides Allah. You mention him. Because that doesn't make you happy. You see, me, I'm mentioning Allah alone. You don't like that. But you're happy mentioning your little demigod, so go ahead. Go ahead. As for me, bear witness that I am a Muslim. I'm not part of your mushrikeen. I'm not a part of your shirk. 45, 39, 45, 6. 39, 45, 46. 46 says, say, Allah, originator of the heavens and the earth, know of the unseen and the seen. Thou judgest between those of thy servants as to wherein they differ. We'll judge between that. Chapter 40, verse 12. I'm winding down. Chapter 40, verse 12. In the context, after you read it, Allah says, that is because when Allah alone, Allah wahdahu, when Allah alone was called upon, you disbelieve, and when the associates were given to them, you believe, so judgment belongs to Allah the Great. Chapter 40, verse 84. Chapter 40, verse 84. So when they saw our punishment, they said, now these people here, when the people came to them and tried to get them to believe, as you come to us to give up our God and worship Allah alone, you get away from that, and all foolishness, you don't hear that. But when they saw the punishment coming down on them, when they saw the punishment, they said, oh, wow. What the brother was talking, wow, the earth is cracking under my feet and stuff is happening. So when they saw the punishment, they said, we believe in Allah alone. We believe in Allah. We trust with Allah. Billahi wahdahu. We trust with Allah alone. We deny that which we used to associate with Him. We deny that. Why? The stuff is on us now. We believe in Allah alone. We deny that stuff. No, I don't know Him. I don't know nobody. I don't know nobody. You see, I'm denying Him. I don't know. I deny Him. Well, I ain't even said His name. I don't care who it is. I deny Him. I deny Him. Punishment on me now. I see this thing is real. I don't care. Chapter 40, verse 84. So when they saw our punishment, they said, we believe in Allah alone, and we deny what they used to associate with Him. Chapter 12, verse 108. 12:108. The messenger says, say, tell them, this is my way. I call to Allah, Allah alone, Allah alone. With what? Certain knowledge. Certain knowledge. Basiran. That's your sight. Your insight was clear. You have clear sight, insight, thinking. Certain knowledge, you see? I and those who follow me. So you like to follow the messenger? Look, brother, we Ahl Sunnah. Well, then this is what you should be doing. Not that Ahl Sunnah out there. Ahl Sunnah in the Quran. Not that out there religion that you made up. This deen of Islam, not the religion of Islam. Islam is not religion of Islam. It's deen of Islam. So, this is my way. I call to Allah with certain knowledge, I and those who follow me. And glory be to Allah, and I am not of the mushrikeen. I am not of the mushrikeen. But wait. You know, like the commercials say, look, if you order right now, you can get this here for the price that's shown. But wait, if you call now, right now, we give you two. We give you two of them. Just wait. So what I just gave you, I'm saying, but wait, I got some other stuff for you. But wait, don't go ordering this right now. This is my way. I call to Allah with certain knowledge, I and those who follow me, and glory be, I'm not a mushrikeen. But wait, hold it before you jump. I have a bonus for you. First, read the Quran, chapter 26, 69 and 77. I didn't, oh, I have it here. I put it in my pull-out thing. I'm sorry. Let me read it. This is the history of Abraham. Quran chapter 26, verse 69 and 77. And recite to them the story of Abraham, when he said to his sire and his people, "What do you worship?" They said, "We worship idols, so we remain devoted to them." He said, "Do they hear you when you call? When you call on them, do they hear you? Or do they benefit or harm you?" They said, "Nay, they don't do none of that. We found our fathers doing that. We found our fathers doing it. I mean, we didn't ask nothing about it. This is ancestry stuff. Our ancestors handed down, and so that's what they were doing. The brother come in, what they're doing, so brother stand right here. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. What you do? I don't know. I just did what they did. I was doing what they doing. The brother, he was holding his hand like this. He's doing this like that. So everywhere you go, he's like this. "Brother, why you doing that?" Well, that's what the brother. That's the way I learned. Brother like this. That's the way I learned. I was doing what they did. That's the way I learned. The brother's supposed to keep it right here over here, on 2 inches over here. Nay, we found our fathers doing so. He said, "Do you then see what you worship? You and your ancient sires? Surely they are enemies to me. But not so the Lord of the worlds, who created me, then shows me the way." He created me, then he guides me. Him by himself, nobody else is helping him do that. So now, here's your, but wait. Chapter 60, verse 4. Chapter 60, verse 4. Chapter 60, verse 4. "Indeed, there is for you in Abraham a good example, and those with him, when they said to their people," this is a good example for you. Now you learn from this. This was told the messenger and those with the messenger also. "This is my way and those who follow me." So this is his way too. Abraham was his imam, so he's following them. So you out there in radio land, TV land, internet land, the cyberspace, intergalactic territories. Y'all listen to this here, look. This is a lesson for you. "Indeed, there's a good example in Abraham and those with him when he said to his people, 'We are clear of you and that which you serve besides Allah.'" That which you serve besides Allah, because in 51:56, Allah says He only created you to serve Him. So we're clear of you and that which you serve besides Allah. We disbelieve in you, and has arisen between you and me enmity and hatred. Forever until it can stop. You can make it stop. Make it stop until you believe in Allah alone. Wahdahu. Until you accept Allah, wahdahu. You only do that through His revelation alone. Until you do that, enmity and hatred. That's what Abraham said. Me and those people with me. I'm speaking for them too. Well, I hear them say that. No, I know what they do the same thing I'm saying. Yeah. Until you serve Allah alone. Now, the messenger aligns himself with Abraham and those with him. He aligns himself with that speech right there. That was before Muhammad's time. Allah let him know about that. And now he said, well, I'm down with that. That was good for Abraham. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. I'm down with that. He aligns himself with it. Chapter 38, verses 1 to 8. Sorry, brothers, for having you sit in this heat and taking such a long time. I'll be finishing it in a minute, but I think for me, it was important for me to talk beyond you a little bit to the extended audience and out there, because they don't hear what we're talking about here. We do. We know what this is. I'm not preaching to the choir. Y'all already know this. I'm talking to my fellow brothers out there who I know and they know, and I don't know and they would like to know. And they're not being told. Quran chapter 38, verses 1 to 8. By the Quran containing the dhikr, the remembrance. By this Quran containing the remembrance. Nay, those who disbelieve are in self-exaltation and opposition. How many a generation did we destroy before them? Then they cried when there was no longer time for escape. They cried. Verse 4. And they wonder that a messenger, a warner from among themselves have come to them. And the disbelievers say, this is an enchanted liar. This is an enchanted liar. That's what they said about the messenger. This is an enchanted liar. Because he's coming with a law alone, Quran alone. He's an enchanted liar. Makest he the gods a single God? Makest he the gods a single God? He want to compress all these gods into one little God? Where's our gods at? This is one God now. This is one God. Get rid of all that mess. That was just some foolishness. The gods are only one. Where's all that other stuff? Get rid of it. Burn. Gone. He's an enchanted liar. Look what he's doing. He's making the gods one God. And the chiefs among them, the mullahs and the muftis, and the alims and the qadis, and the little baby imams, makeshift imams, brothers who got out of jail and stuff, and learned how to, they were ex-pimps and con men in jail. So they learned how to con the people outside. Some of them did, some of them got busted since they've been out and all that for pimp and con. They're the chiefs among them. They have made themselves chiefs and people accept them as such. The chiefs among them say, go and steadily adhere to your gods. Don't pay that no mind. Don't pay that Quran alone, Quran and stuff. Don't look. Go and steadily adhere to your Quran and Ahl Sunnah and Ahl Hadith and Ahl, whatever. I don't care what it is. Quran and whatever you like. Look, stay with that. We all brothers. That Quranic stuff, we don't hear that. We never heard of this in the former generations in our faith before. This is nothing but a forgery. This is what he's talking about, is a forgery. Has the reminder been revealed to him from among us? Nay. They are in doubt as to my reminder. Nay, they have not yet tasted my chastisement. Let me finish with this. Chapter 25, verse 30. Took my hat to that one. What that verse did. Took my hat to that. Took my hat to that verse. Wow. 25:30. Chapter 25, verse 30. Most of the brothers haven't even read the verse. They don't know it. They don't recite this. They just recite there's some short verses that they know, and they slowly and run back out into the dunya and do their foolishness. Yeah, like I used to do for over 30 years. Used to do the same thing. So I have experience in that. 25:30. And the messenger said, O my Lord, indeed my people took this Quran as a forsaken thing. Forsaken thing. Mahjuran, where you brothers like to talk about the hijrah. That word is morphed from the same word, hijrah, mahjur. In other words, you have made hijrah from the Quran. You have ran away from this Quran. That's what the messenger said. My people have made hijrah from this Quran. See, when Allah alone is mentioned, they don't want to hear that. They made hijrah from this. See, they don't want that. Chapter 7, verse 172, 174. And when our Lord brought you forth from the children of Adam, from their loins and of their descendants, and made you bear witness about yourselves, am I not your Lord? They said, yes, we bear witness. Lest you should say on the day of resurrection, we were unaware of this. So keep you from saying that later on the day of judgment. We didn't know. We didn't know nothing about that. And Allah planted it in your DNA. It's in your DNA, walking with you wherever you are. Your nafs amar, lawama, mutmain is constantly with you. Wherever you are, there you are. Like Teddy Pendergrass said, you can't hide from yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. See? There you are. So here, you got it in your DNA. And Allah says, lest you come up here running off of the mouth. We didn't know. No, it was planted in you. You knew. I brought you forth, gave you hearing, sight, intellect with this built in you. Or you might have another excuse. Or I'll cover this one too. I've got this one covered too. 173. Or lest you should say, only our fathers ascribed partners before us, and we were unaware. We didn't know nothing about it. We were unaware. Will thou destroy us for the liars, what they did? You gonna destroy us for them? We didn't know they did that. We just followed what we found them doing. We didn't know that they had forged this. Verse 174. And thus do we make the messages clear, that happily they may return. Now, so now you see what this is. Maybe you'll return to your innate being, your nature, and do what that is now that you have the revelation before you and all that too. So you have a combo now. Excuse me, can I get the combo meal? Yeah. Or what do you want, fries with that? No, I'll take the combo, whatever comes with it. You get the combo special. Quran 39, 64 to 67. Quran 39, 64, 67. Allah told the messenger to say, do you bid me serve other than the law, O you ignorant ones? You trying to get me to serve other than the law, O you ignorant ones? You want me to follow Quran and something else, Hadith and Sunnah? Something else? This Quran is not sufficient for me. Allah says He's sufficient to guide. You said no, He doesn't give the details for this. So you trying to get me to follow something else? Oh, you ignorant ones, from the top down, from your top scholars down, you're all the ignorant ones. That's what Allah says. He don't care nothing about your degrees in universities where you went. Muhammad didn't go to the Prophet who got this. He didn't go there. Allah said, we found you dhalan. We guided you. We didn't find you in the Ashar University, sitting there studying with the sheikhs. No, we found you wandering, looking around, hoping we guided you. 65. And certainly it has been revealed to thee and to those before you. If you associate with Allah, all that your works that you do will certainly come to naught, and thou will be of the losers. 66. Nay, serve Allah alone. Wahdahu. Serve Allah alone, and be of the thankful. 67. And they honor not Allah with the honor due to Him, and the whole earth will be in His grip on the day of judgment, and the heavens rolled up in His right hand, and glory be to Him, and highly exalted is He above what they associate with Him. Finally, let me say this. Finally, let me say this. Finally, let me say this. Say this to, like I said, to one of my good companions from back in the day. The companions from the dunya. That person, if you hear this, you know who you are. I don't have to, reveal you and call you out. I could call you out by name. I could call a lot of you out by name. But I'm not. You know who you are. Let me end with this note. Finally, Quran chapter 34, verse 24. Say, tell them, who gives you substance from the heavens and the earth? Say, Allah. Allah gives me sustenance from the heavens and the earth. That means everything I need to sustain me, including my nourishment, my intellect, my knowledge, my confidence in whatever it is that I believe and trust. Allah provides me with that. Say, who gives you sustenance from the heavens and the earth? Say Allah. And surely we or you are on Hudan or Dhalam Mubin. Either we or you are on Hudan. Hudan is Huda, which Allah gives is Al-Huda. He's Al-Hadi. That's the Quran alone. So either we or you are on this Quran alone, and if not, your Dhalal is Mubin, is clear. Brother, if you say you want Quran and your Dhalal Mubin. Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yusufun, wa salamun ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Shukran. Any questions? Any questions?
Someone said something? Questions?
Excuse me? Any questions?
Yes, one question I have. When you was explaining that, and you went into chapter 49, and you recited 1 through 6,
Yeah,
and there was a difference in messenger as well as prophet.
yeah.
What was explicitly meant by that?
Oh, I didn't get into that.
I know, because
basically,
didn't have time.
is that when you hear the word prophet in the Quran,
Right.
it's really talking about his immediate society. Normally, when you hear the word prophet, you won't be able to relate it to anything you do today. Like it says, oh, you believe, enter not the prophet's houses from so and so and so. Oh, you believe, marry not the wives of the prophets so and so and so. Oh, prophet, say this so and so and so. Those are his people and his generation, his time.
Right.
It's not transgenerational, those verses. We gave a talk on that. What is transgenerational in the Quran? But when it talks about the messenger, even that you have to see the context, and then you can see if it's transgenerational, if it comes to us or not. You see, but I said that's a lot. It takes a lot of little more discourse than what I'm giving you here to lay that out. So hopefully, when we have a session, we'll deal with that. That's what I meant basically did.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you brought up the story of Adam
Yeah,
in chapter 20, verse 115,
yeah,
you said Adam didn't choose that.
yeah. He didn't choose to. What did I say? Willfully. In other words, I said he didn't choose to neglect the will of Allah. Let me see how I said it. I said, did Adam and his wife choose to live outside of Allah's will? Did he choose? I said, in the Quranic thing, they chose to live outside the will of Allah. It doesn't see anything about them repenting and all that, so Allah cursed them and put them in that curse and let them go. I said, here, Adam, in the Bible, yeah. I said, here, Adam and his wife didn't choose to live outside the Quran. What they did, they forgot the commandment, they slipped. There was no resolve in them to disobey, so Allah chose him and guided them. That was what I'm saying, the difference between the two stories of Adam. Adam forgot the command, he slipped, he didn't mean to do it, it wasn't willful intent. So,
But he was still the one who chose it.
yeah, but he did it, but Allah made it clear that he didn't do it with malice of intent. This is the term they use in court. With malice of intent. In other words, I don't care what the law said, I'm going to do this anyway. Nothing like that.
Right.
You know, the law says he forgot. Use the word forgot. Forgot. There was no resolve to disobey. Anything else? Thank you once more.
All right, brothers. Assalamu alaikum. So that we want to thank Hamza. That was an outstanding lecture. One hadith after Allah and His messengers woe to the sinful lives. It's a fantastic lecture, Hamza. I want to thank once again Muhammad Shafiq Ali and Jake Rakintella for their superb presentations. And once again, Hamza Abdul for his superb presentations. Thank you for being under this heat. This is our 8th annual Tawheed conference. We hope once again to meet either here or another venue for our 9th annual Tawheed conference. I thank you all for coming out again. Assalamu alaikum. And once again, a round of applause to all the presenters. Thank you.
Okay,